Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And yes, my hair looks like a hot mess, but it's okay. I'm about to go on a run shortly, so I don't really care how my hair looks. And it's been kind of drizzly this week in Chicagoland. Chicago. I'm so used to saying Chicagoland, by the way. And it's because I used to live in the burbs for a while. So that's why that's a thing. And let me adjust this mic. Anyway. So I hope you guys had a great holiday. Or if you're still celebrating the holidays, because I know Kwanzaa is the day after Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa, guys. Also, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. If you don't celebrate the holidays, hopefully you're being nice and safe and warm. If you're on the other side of the hemisphere where things might be warmer, hopefully you guys are staying nice and cool. Hopefully I just covered all the grounds here. Okay. Anyway, so again, welcome back to my channel. And I don't remember if I said my name again, but if I did, it's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And this is a different video. This is kind of a mini recap video, my personal recap for how my year went, and then also goals for next year. So yeah, let's get into it. So 2023 for me has been a year of challenges. And I feel like with a lot of my close friends, it's been the case too. A year of challenges, and even family, year of challenges. So I started off 2023 prior to having this channel, because I actually started this channel in February. But I lost 2 friends on New Year's Day. So how that transpired was actually I had a mini get together at my place for New Year's Eve / New Year's Day. And, yeah, we got into it, over something really little. And I still don't understand how that went. But for me, it was a case of you're disrespecting me in my place of living and place of dwelling. So there's no coming back for me. That's how I am. There's certain lines and certain boundaries that I just won't. There's no need to, go any further with that. So the year started weird. And also, part of the group that I was hanging out with was also included my ex. And not even a week later, we had a falling out. And it was just like, and also, not even a week later with that, I broke my toe. It was just like the hits were coming. They just kept coming. So it was January was an interesting month for me. I was like, oh man, this means 2023 is not going to be good. I was like, because I broke my toe. I lost 2 friends. And yeah. And then I even was planning on doing a half marathon. I did a half marathon in February, even though my toe was not fully recovered. And I don't know if that was the best idea. My toe has finally now started to feel normal. But that's because I had to, we'll get more into that. So that was January. February, channel. I started the channel so you guys got to know a little bit more. So I'm not going to go into things I already talked about on the channel before, other than the broken toe, because y'all know I've said that so many times, but y'all know I feel such a way about that. It's like I never broke a damn thing in my life, and all of a sudden I'm 39 years old and I break something for the first time. I'm just like, why? Anyway, so, but it was a year of challenges, but it was also a year of a rebirth for me. So the challenges did not bother me the way maybe in the past it would have, because I just knew I was on a different path. This content creating thing was new, and I found like a new creative niche, which is this. And then I also was out and about more than ever. Like I had more social interaction, kind of the amount of social interaction I used to get before, 2020. And I don't know if I would have gotten that necessarily if I stayed in the same kind of way of thinking as I had, prior to all those things happening. So there is that. Also, I went to 3 concerts this year. And then for those who want to hear the reviews of those concerts, they're definitely in the, I think, Seeing Things Differently series. I've reviewed all 3 concerts. But one of the concerts include a bucket list concert of seeing Janet Jackson. So, yeah. I was happy about that. And also, I saw 2 of like more of my favorite kind of off the wall artists. I got to see Thundercat, and then I also got to see Victoria Monet. And I've also cultivated a couple new friends, acquaintances throughout the year. And I would say the second half of the year, late June on, has been kind of awesome sauce. And even like May, I would say from May on is when things started to heat up in the best way possible. Like, got to spend time with my family, and got to go quite a few different places. Not as much traveling, as far long traveling, like traveling far as I normally do, but I still got to get some in there. Like I went to Vegas, I went to Sedona. Also went to Birmingham, Alabama, and went back home a couple times. Went to Michigan. So I checked a lot of the boxes this year. So yeah, overall, I would say this year has been such a different year, but also awesome. The other challenges, as you guys may know, and I have a video where I don't know if I'm going to keep it up. I think I might take it down, actually. I kind of broke down in the video because I lost someone close to my family back in October. And this all happened the same time where in my professional life, I had a whole entire company reorg happen. And so my boss was no longer my boss when I got back from and this all happened after I left, like, went on vacation. So it was a lot. So that's the other reason why I said this was kind of a year of challenges, because I just had a lot of things that happened this year that was just not on my bingo card. Yeah. So, but one thing I will say that I was happy about this year, especially the newer things that happened, meeting new people, getting acquainted with new people, was also the fact that I already knew this about myself, but now I know more than ever. Your girl's resilient. If there's a way to find, I'll find it. I will find my way. I will forever find my way. And even the people around me, especially of late, the people who I've cultivated and really became really, really good friends with, they're the same way. They just find their way. And I will say for this year, besides some of my old friends who have been my friends since day one, and y'all already know who you are, there's just so many people who have been in my life, who have been my day ones, that this was a year where I was really appreciating it, even more than ever. I may not have seen all these people this year. And sorry, I'm fixing my mic at the same time, which is good because it's stopping me from getting too emotional. But back to the seriousness. I've had so many friends this year that even though I lost some people who I thought were my friends, the friends who are my friends are still around. And they've never left. A lot of good people have been in my life. I'm just like thankful for. And this year, because they were in it, and then even the newer friends. I'm not going to name everybody because, child, then y'all really know my personal life and you don't need to know all that. But basically, shown up for me this year more than ever and has been there. And I appreciate and I value it. But the reason why I'm saying all this is that because of that support and feel like I have that kind of support system, it really let me know how resilient I really am and how resilient they are. Because I look at what they're doing in their lives, they're equally as resilient. And I appreciate it and love it. So, with that being said, with the reflecting of it all, I kind of want to add a little bit more to the reflection piece before then we go to the goals for 2024. So more that I want to reflect on is my friendships this year. Even though I had some challenges with the friendships, I had more triumph than challenges with that. Family, gotten closer than ever to my family. Both sides, by the way, that was not my bingo card, but that was kind of another super positive thing. My cousin be forever sending me memes though. And I don't have time to look at them, but I'm going to look at them today because I have time now. But man, she sends me memes. She's a meme queen. I ain't got time to be on the phone looking at memes, but that's just me. But I do respect and appreciate it. So shout out to you, friend. Cuz. Yeah, but it's been like when it comes to family, that's been awesome. My close friends, that's been, I already share that, but I just really appreciate that, especially because this year was weird. It was a weird year for me. It wasn't horrible, but it was very challenging. Because I feel like this is the first year where I really was working on the self and just stuck to that. I did not divert from the course. I feel like in previous years when I say I'm going to work on myself, I somehow diverted from the course and I stayed on the course this year. And I think this wasn't just a this year thing. I put it out there that I was working on myself around May the year before that. And actually, technically even before that. I had been trying to speak that to existence more than once, that I need to work on myself, and then whatever comes with that is what comes with that. And this was the first year that I really stuck to the course. I made sure this year I was going to have some fun. I also made sure I was going to, I did have some fun. I did. But then I also made sure that I had some discipline, self-discipline when it comes to like my work ethic. Also to rest more. That was another goal that I had this year that I stuck to and did a really good job on, for the most part. To know when to say when. I think I've gotten better on that. And cultivate more relationships, more mindful personal relationships. And by the way, a lot of the goals that I mentioned that I did this year, I talked to my therapist about it. It was very intentional. And so I say all that because I'm kind of going to put a bow reflection piece, because if y'all follow my channel, y'all know I reflect all the time. Like, I don't wait till the end of the year to do that. And I would say that to you also. Do not wait till the end of the year to do any type of self-reflection. You should be doing that in your life as much as you possibly can. And then at the end of the year, you can just kind of put a bow on it and then move on to the next phase. Or if you're someone who doesn't really care about the New Year's and all that like that, which I kind of don't. I use it kind of as a grain of salt a little bit. When you decide you're going to have a new beginning, just have a new beginning. You don't have to wait until the New Year's to do that. And for me, I'll be honest, I started my new beginning, and those who know when I did my full-on detox, to me that was a new beginning. So for me, my new year was in November. So now we're starting off fresh again. That's how I feel about it. Now, whenever it calls for you to make a change, I strongly suggest you do a similar thing. Because for me, that definitely did work. Like, okay, November was my new beginning. I detoxed. I was very intentional while I was putting it on my body. I was going to the gym more. I was doing a lot of yoga in November. November was a yoga month for me. And I kind of kept to myself for a little bit. And not in a bad way. It wasn't that I was depressed or down or any of that. And ironically, November is usually when that stuff starts if you have seasonal depression. And for me, it wasn't really that. It was more or less, no, this is going to be the time where I start to, start anew. So yeah. But I do like to use like the end of the year a little bit just to put a bow on it. But I would say for those who go more towards the traditional route of doing the New Year's resolutions and whatnot, I'll let you know what I do that has helped. So one of the things that I like to do, and I'm going to share my goals as I kind of go through how I did this. I start planning usually like around November. And sometimes it's even earlier than that on what my goals are for the following year. And then I use kind of the month of December to really reflect and find out if it's realistic or not. Because for those who know my personality or can tell, I'm very goal oriented. I don't know, for me, that's just something that I've always found valuable and helpful for me to stay on track, and also for me to feel it's not a control thing. I thought for a long time, I thought it was more of a control thing. It really isn't that. It's more or less, I feel good whenever I set a goal and it's accomplished. And now that I've gotten older, it's not me setting goals, accomplishing it, and I'm like, next. I'm not as like, I used to be very much that. So it used to be more towards the laying of control of where I needed to have something in order to feel kind of fulfilled. And for me now, it's not really that. It's more or less, I just like the idea of looking forward to something. And I think for most people, that's good for your mental health to have something to look forward to. And so I always set goals for myself, whether they're small, big, whatever. That's what I do. So one of the goals I have, some of the goals I have for next year is I want to continue to make sure I get plenty of rest, but then also don't get lazy with it, because I kind of went the other way a little bit last year, and we're going to make the adjustments. And I already started making the adjustments. I can tell now that I'm not as leaning towards the laziness side of it. We're getting back to where we used to be. So the other thing I am setting my goals on is I have 2 major trips I'm planning. I'm not going to say when they are because, safety. But I have 2 major trips I'm planning. They're solo trips. And those are like the 2 things I'm mainly looking forward to. But with the one that I'm going to have towards the end of next year, I want to make sure I'm completely together. So I started the Get Fit With Me series, and I had the Get Fit With Me accountability when I did that detox back in November. I lost inches. I only lost probably like 4 pounds though, but the inches were inching, and I still have maintained that. But the goal is for next year is that I want to get back to my pre-COVID weight. Before by that trip, the latest. And honestly, that is super feasible for me because of the fact that the other goal I have is I deferred my 50K I was supposed to do this year to next year. And I think I will be healthy enough where I can do that. Because for those, I already mentioned I had the shortcoming of me injuring my toe, which clearly that impacts the running. So I did make the conscious decision to know when to say when last year, and I took the rest after June. I took kind of the rest of the year off from doing long distance running. And when I mean long distance running, I mean running like double digits. So the most I've ran this year has been 9.3 miles, so 15K. That's the longest distance I've ran this year. Since June. Because June I did do a half marathon. And I probably shouldn't have did it. Because I think I made it worse. So I'm thinking next year I should be fully recovered enough where that will be doable. So yeah, that's going to be the other thing that I have going on is I have a 50K planned. I also have a couple marathons planned for next year. Quite a few half marathons planned, and they're all kind of out of state. So that's the other thing that's going to be kind of awesome and cool because I'm going to get back on my 50 states for the half marathons and 50 states for the full marathons. Of course, we're going to be back on that course. So that's the other thing I have planned. And I forgot to add this on the YouTube goals that I had for this channel. But I'm going to add to this one. I am planning on definitely sharing more of my videos of me running. I don't know how that's going to look. I've been trying to do that, and I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. But also the other goal I have, speaking of that, I am going to do my first open water triathlon next year. I'm going to do the Chicago Super Sprint Triathlon. That one's less intimidating because the water is not that deep. And it's because it's going to be Lake Michigan, which that part kind of scares me because it's Lake Michigan. But we're going to do it. It's not going to be bad. So yeah, that's another goal that I have for myself next year. Also, another goal that I have for myself next year is maybe towards the end of next year, I will finally get to resume the condo hunting. Because I did put that on pause. That was my goal last year, but I had to put on pause because these interest rates are out of control and so are the prices. And I want things to crash. And I am cool with being in a competitive market with it crashing versus being in a competitive market with it not crashing. Yeah. A lot of my running goals. So I mentioned my running goals. So do a couple more halves, do a full, do an ultra, also do a triathlon. Yeah, I think that puts all my exercise goals right there in a bow. Also with the running goals, I will say this because a lot of the running goals I'm doing is kind of traveling related. So I'm actually traveling more than the 2 times, clearly based on that. But the 2 times I am traveling that I have planned for next year are not running related. I just want to actually fully, truly take time off. So yeah, those are that's the plan for that. Also, I will say this, because I went on the path back in November of going dry, not drinking. I think I am going to continue that where I don't drink as much. And also, the other goal that I exited from, but then I came back to, for those who follow this channel, is I stopped being pescatarian earlier last year. And then when I did my detox, I went back to it. And now I think I'm back to being pescatarian for the most part. Now, if I'm in an environment where the food is there and it's given what needs to be gave, I'm going to eat whatever that's there. But I myself am not going to be buying anything that's non-pescatarian. Like as far as like meals for me to prep or whatnot. Because last year I was even at the point where I was meal prepping non-pescatarian dishes and stuff. And it got real expensive super quickly, number one. And number two, I forgot how much meat does not stay great for that long. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like the fact that I didn't realize my life has been so much easier being pescatarian versus not being pescatarian, ironically, and you would think it's the opposite because it's a diet restriction. Yeah, pescatarian life just works better for me. It helps my pockets out, and it also helps with like the meal prepping, because things meal prepping wise keep longer when there's no meat in it. And yeah, so that's the other goal that I'm going to continue on with. And I think I am finally going to get to the point where, so the other goal is, so this year I did go on a couple dates, not to get too personal. And I just did it just to kind of see how things are going with that. And yeah, I think I'm going to continue to work on myself longer. With that being said, I'm going to continue to work on myself longer because the field is different these days. It is different. And this is coming from someone who lives in a major city. The field is different. And I think also for me, like, the problem is, okay, I'll just state some of the obvious for me. The problem is a lot of times with my dating is that, and also too, I'm not even talking about the online of it all. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just like organically you meet someone and you go on dates. Or you get organically you meet someone, they hit on you, you're like, okay, I'm liking what you put down, and then you guys decide you're gonna like go on a date. People do not realize how old I am. I think maybe I just have this youthful presence about me. I don't know. Y'all could say in the comments if that's true or not. But no one tends to know how old I really am. So like, I'm always having to be like, yeah, this is a look I'm constantly feel like I'm giving when it comes to like how I feel about dating. Because it's just like, part of it is like, I'd be confused. I'll just leave it there. Like I wanted to get more into it, but maybe that's a Sharon, aka Milton, and Nostalgic Runner After Dark conversation. I'm kidding. I was never gonna get into all that. But my whole thing is that with the dating, it's just been interesting because I'm going to say it. I've been trying to avoid saying it, but I'm going to say it. A lot of the people who I end up going on dates with, it's either giving friend zone, like we're friend zoning each other right off the bat, because we both like the idea of us looking cute together, but it's not really aligning romantically for me. Because I'll be honest, my dates this year haven't been that bad. But it's also because I've been way more selective than I have been in the past. And that's the difference right there. That's a huge difference. But people who I've randomly just like ended up vibing with or whatever, I think the other issue that I've been finding is that maybe they're used to dealing with women who don't have both their parents in their lives, particularly their dad, or like the women that they deal with have daddy issues. And like this year, especially for me, I am coming from such a positive headspace when it comes to like my family life, like my personal family life. You ain't getting none of those issues from me over here. And also too, I've been going to therapy for years. Like I've been really trying to work on myself for a long time. And so now I'm on the other side of it, and I'm just looking at how the landscape's landscaping. And the funny thing is the landscape has not changed. It's I have changed, but not the landscape. And so I just look at the landscape like, what is happening? That's the reality. There we go. I finally figured out how to word it, because I was trying to figure out how to word all that, but that's what it is. It's like, oh wow, when you're kind of healed, you just realize the world's dating in your 40s can almost be like, it's the ghetto. Like, I'm just kind of like, it is ghetto. I'm just like, what is happening? But I might chop and screw this piece and put this just in a separate little video, just because I always wanted to share something about that, but I don't know if it's appropriate for New Year's, New Beginnings, because that has nothing to do with this. It's just me on one of my mini tangents, but I just wanted to share it. But anyway, so to put it all together, though, I would say hopefully you guys either put a vision board together. I didn't necessarily do a vision board, but I have my goals in like a couple Word docs. I also have a couple spreadsheets that I put my goals in. And then I kind of put it all together, because my goals, I have so many mini individual goals when it comes to like, and then I like to separate them, like when it comes to family, friends, professional, second job professional, this genre of professional, because I also have goals when it comes to my actual career, but that's a whole nother thing. Spirituality, physical, like body, health, soul, like all those things. I like to have them all together. And then also, like for me, I have pets, so like I want to make sure my cats stay healthy too, and I keep them healthy and happy. So that's my other goal I have, of course, but that's what I like to do. I like to have them all separated out. And then for me, having it all separated out, come up with visions for what I see for the future when it comes to all those things. And hopefully that helps you as well. But for me, that has helped me kind of look forward to the future and be optimistic. And I also like to plan around this time and really think about it more, because usually this is a time where like my seasonal depression becomes a lot worse. So I refocus that pent up, not so positive energy and reformat it into positive energy where I'm looking forward to the future. Hopefully that helps you. And I'm debating, anyway, I'm I'm thinking out loud, and the problem is sometimes I need to stop thinking out loud. But anyway, that is hopefully the wrap up for the year for me. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to do any pop culture year wrap ups, because I don't take pop culture seriously. I just like watching it for my own entertainment, but I don't really like to really do the pop culture stuff on this channel. Other than Real Housewives, that's probably about as far as I go, and I don't think I'm going to switch that up because I don't know. That's just not really doesn't make sense for me. But anyway, hopefully you are having a great last days of 2013, and you have an awesome and prosperous and flourishing 2023. Wow. And hopefully you have a nice, prosperous, amazing, awesome 2024. And thank you for those who've been on this channel, who's been supporting me. Thank you for the continued support. But it's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And hopefully I get better at this YouTube thing, because man, I am new to this. I am not true to this. Bye.